Hey traders, this is my midday recap real quick here. Basically, we're breaking that level I had in my morning video for the high yield bonds, and so just keep that in mind going forward here. I'm really trying to keep a close eye on these high yield bonds. We're supposed to be having all this stimulus that the government's going to do to backstop all this economy. Then why are the bonds continuing to fall apart on the corporate bonds? I mean, the obviously the markets are not buying into the what they're trying to show us. Okay, so something to keep in mind going forward here. We are seeing what I think's happening here on these uh, uh, orders on these high yield bonds. I think you have some credit sellers on the uh, you got the 60 puts. I think uh, you do have some credit selling going on here on these credit spreads happening on these high yield bonds. So keep that in mind going forward here. I think they're uh, trying to take in some premium on these and selling out of the money puts on these high yield bonds here around the 65 area and lower. So something to keep in mind that is hitting the tape. I think, and some sellers are thinking we might be nearing some lows. I suggest. I think that's what's going on here in the high yield bonds. I also noticed that, well, we're seeing several high HYG orders going off down through here on the so far this today, and let's see here. Another big order which I noticed today, and we have a big buyer of the 159 Qs going forward into today's session. So keep that in mind going forward. That puts us right back down near my levels for the week, where I expected the Qs to end the week. But there is a big buyer uh, hitting the tape today on these Qs. So keep that in mind. The 159s, we are coming uh, that would put us down in this area for the 159s. So basically, there is some big bets going that this thing is going to continue to sell per my charts, which I've already pointed out in the morning video and weekend video, some of the stuff that's happening here. And so basically, but I'll continue to see a lot of the high yield bonds, a lot of action happening in that realm. So keep that. We have to have uh, the high yield uh, come in and settle down, and we are not seeing that yet. So who knows? We might get a stimulus package and high yield stabilize here in a few hours, but as of right now, it is not looking very pretty for the high yield bonds, in my opinion, and very difficult to continue to go forward to the long side, in my opinion. Uh, so that just gives you some of the ideas, stuff I'm seeing here on the Trade Flash. Okay, some of the trades I did this morning. Uh, excuse me. Uh, Apple. Apple was my first trade. Of course, it was a bad trade. Basically, with the yeah, I was really bearish to markets and everything, but given all the news and headlines and stuff, and basically we were opening right through here on the Apple. There was a huge gap from the VWAP and the pivot point, daily pivot point, and I thought we were going to get a responsive bid in Apple, like we did the last time we had a sell off on a Friday. The next Monday, we actually got a responsive bid in Apple, and I thought we were going to come back up here and back test this trend line. So I did have the calls this morning, which completely went against me. But I did manage to lock in a break even on my Apple position on the open. I had plenty of time to get out of that trade. My second trade was Microsoft, I believe, and that one there, I got that near the open as well, and I did manage to lock in a really nice gain up to about this point here. Um, and so that was my biggest winner for the day, and I did actually miss the last leg, unfortunately. But yeah, we're marking new lower lows on Microsoft. And as I said in my video, uh, I have a lot lower for my. Uh, uh, I don't think Microsoft has its lows in yet. So something to keep in mind going forward here. Tech does seem to be leading to the downside here. Here at post 11:30 today, the tech is picking up speed to the downside from what I can tell here. So just keep that in mind going forward here. My third trade was Tesla, and I did get this near the open today. I was seeing it crossing over the VWAP, so I did manage to catch a nice little scalp on Tesla. That was my second best trade for the day. Um, so I'm glad that worked out for me and stuff. But as you can see, like all the other tech, Tesla's falling down hard here and everything. And then I did those all to the call side, just based off of the relative strength in the markets this morning. And then a little bit later, I took Facebook, and it was coming off right up here. It was coming off, and I regret now. It was coming off of this right up here, and unfortunately, it was chopping around sideways here. It was chopping around sideways here, and so I actually ended up chucking this for break even. And boy, that was a bad decision. But yeah, we came up to know your 100 back test, and basically it just completely fell out of favor for Facebook. So know your limit at 100, and it's going down with the rest of the markets. And there was a down or a bad news on Facebook. They were over. It sounds like they were overestimating their ad revenues, and that hit the wire, hit the tape this morning. So that's why I wanted to be a net seller of Facebook in today's session. And boy, it is getting pummeled now. So that was another one that I tried to trade today. And then I also tried Nvidia. I was, like I said in my video, I was really bearish on the semiconductors, but they were on the bullish side this morning. And I kept saying it was going to break down. It's going to break down. It's going to break down. Buddy, wouldn't you know it? It finally did. It finally did it on volume. And darn it, that sucks. It kept going on this trade, and this was my biggest loser of the day. I finally hit my stop, and it took me out of this trade on the video. So unfortunately, that's what happened here on that trade. That sucks. But that would have been a nice winner for myself. And then I actually took some Zoom video puts as well. It was up 17% at the time. And buddy, you just can't get any type of pullback on this. I thought maybe it was going to cross out of my fib fans and find some responsibility back down to the VWAP. And that trade didn't seem to work out. The relative strength for Zoom video is just absolutely amazing. I took a slight loss on that one. But basically, for today, I made more than if I went out and worked my regular job, which I'm laid off right now. But if I did for a day, I still made more than what I make for a normal day, but I didn't make much money at all. But markets are doing exactly as I expected. I expected we were going to have a sell-off. We have not hit solid support yet here on the markets. I think we are going to be 40% off the highs before big money decides to step up and defend these markets. So don't be surprised for us to be gapping down tomorrow into this zone. And I'm pretty sure, maybe later today, but pretty sure we are going to be getting in this zone tomorrow morning for these markets. So just keep that in mind going forward here. Does look like we are setting up for some relative weakness here on the Qs, just not quite as weak as I'd hoped. And so keep that in mind going forward in your trading. It is falling completely out of bed here on our Qs, as I had mentioned in the video this morning. And IWM right here, right now, is on the verge of marking new lows. So basically, we had that morning pop because the Federal Reserve's ammunition was talking about all of the stimulus they're going to put into the economy. Well, we saw right here in the pre-market session. I don't have the pre-market on this chart. We were marking lower lows for lower swing lows in the pre-market session for the financials. Well, when his news came out, next thing you know, the financials were popping up here above those prior swing lows. And basically, you could tell real quick, like the financials didn't want to have anything to do with what he was trying to sell us. And basically, now we are marking lower lows for the financials. I think the whole reasoning of the hype right when it was happening, because it was the press release happened about the same time we were breaking new lows for the financials, and I think they came out with that press release when they did, hoping that they could start putting in higher lows today in the markets by having the news out there. And basically, for us to have a turn in this market, the trend, you have to put in a higher low and a higher high on a given day versus the prior day. That is a reversal signal. We are putting in lower lows. So basically, this is a continuation pattern of the sell off. So just keep that in mind going forward here in these markets. This is an absolute continuation pattern, and we have not hit support. Okay, like the video if you like it, and please leave comments and stuff. I hope you guys, I'm helping you guys out, a lot here. It was really tough for me this morning. I was getting mixed signals all over the place, and my alerts, I wasn't even getting very good alerts on my alert system. Well, we're finally getting a Facebook alert on that last one, so that's a good sign. But it sounds like the Facebook are just starting to dump Facebook, and that's probably why it's starting to alert here, in my opinion. Okay, at any rate, that's actually one of the first big, nice alerts all day long that I've had in the markets. So, like I said, thanks a lot for watching my videos, and please retweet it on Twitter or whatever. And thanks a lot.